Well, I want to thank you for clicking on the link and taking a chance to explore Interface. We have a new campaign called No More Indexing here for July. In July, we are offering all of our PVault customers the ability to try out Interface for 3 months. So you have a 90-day trial of Interface at no cost to you. The only cost is actually a one-time setup fee. That's an interface connector that connects Interface with PVault, which allows us to auto-index those documents and also into your accounting system so that we can validate on the mobile devices and the website so that we get that validated entry so we can import directly into PVault with validated vendor and job number data and information. Now, with the system, your new interface system, we actually pre-built 4 forms for you. It's purchase orders, credit card receipts, delivery tickets, and expense reports. Those are primarily the most commonly used forms, but you will have our full report or full form builder, which would allow you to build all of your daily reports and time cards and any other form that you may want to put in there it can be auto-indexed into Paperless, and we'll kind of show you that here in just a second on how we're able to do that. We're also offering discounted rates for customization. Once you get in the middle of using Interface, you might start seeing that, hey, look, I can redo my HR packet or do my safety forms and all those other opportunities. Absolutely, you can build them in the form builder, but in our experience, customers get busy, so they have us build those things for them and do all the customizations and prettying up the forms and whatnot. And we'll gladly do that. In the month of July, we're offering a discounted rate as well on pre-build hours. Obviously, the more hours you buy, the deeper the discount goes, but that is another incentive that we're offering here for the month of July as well. So that tells you a little bit about the incentive. No more indexing. We definitely want to help you guys out from that standpoint. When we say no more indexing, the biggest value that we have in Interface is the ability to recreate what you're already doing in paper. That generally gets manually indexed into the system for archiving purposes into PVault. We can actually do that completely automatic and unmanned. So essentially allows us to submit the form from the field all the way into PVault, and we can do it seamlessly, or we can stop it in a user queue fully indexed so that somebody in the back office can kind of quality assure it. But that's really what the big advantages of Interface are. So what I'll do here is I'll run through the application very, very high level. I encourage you to get more of an in-depth demo if you are interested in taking advantage of this free 90-day trial. But if you wanted to come and kind of look at the application on a whole, this is a web portal. So it's fully portal. It has document share functionality here with our documents. Here, if I were to kind of click on this, it has a folder structure. So any forms that we build, although we're indexing them into the paperless application PVault, we're also keeping a record of it up here that is keyword searchable. So if you wanted to go into your jobs, here's all your job name and number, and then here's all the different forms that you might fill out for your job. You can drill into here and see all your purchase orders for a particular vendor. And this is all on your mobile device, your web device, so you don't have to necessarily go into PVault as a field user and look up your expense reports or last couple of daily reports. You can have access to it here in a website. Now, one of the big advantages of Interface, though, is that it's a form builder. And that's really the meat of the application. So what we can actually do is we can go in through our jobs, and here are all the jobs. These are all integrated with your accounting system. And if I go into TriTech Lab job, these are all the forms that I'm going to be required to fill out as a field user. I appreciate I can have my delivery tickets and my POs. A daily report's another really good example. A lot of our clients use daily reports. But just for kind of definition's sake, these are categories over here of the form. These are answers or questions and answers on the form. These answers can be lookups for date. They can be lookups, type ahead lookups out of our accounting systems, like for project name. If I'm working on Northwest Warehouse, I can just start typing the number or the name, and there's my lookup, just like I would have hit F4. We can look up off of just Excel spreadsheet pick lists. We can type or talk to the device through general text text fields. Our cost codes, these can be looked up. So all this is fully integrated with your system. That's why we require that little connector fee. But we can also take pictures of things, like we take a progress photo, take a picture of the receiver ticket, you name it. So this kind of gives you an idea of the application itself, is that this is a glorified form builder, is that we recreate through questions and answers what you're already doing in paper form. Now, although we're going to have a few of these forms already built for you, we're also going to give you the ability to create forms on the fly. Now, I'll take one that's already built, like this daily report, and I'll come in through here, and this one's already done. But if I were to bounce back through this 5-step wizard, I would select the category that I'm working on, and then I can add questions and different answer types to this form. So for example, that project name and number, if I were to come in here and edit it, I could retype the question. I could make it more user-friendly if I wanted to make it conversational. I can type it in Spanish if you have Spanish-speaking labor. All that's fair game. We've seen you control the sort order and then the answer type. So the answer type could be a yes/no question, a signature, a list table lookup, an instructional tab. All this is part of the form builder, so you can build unlimited forms here during your trial. That's why we'll have 4 of them already built for you. But for this example, it's a table lookup. So this is an integration with your accounting software. And here I can select from my lookup of integrated values. So I'm going to select jobs here, and it's going to pull over the job number and name, as well as possibly the company ID. And I can make it validated or non-validated if need be. I can also make it required or searchable. So what happens is we go through this little process here of building these questions and answers. I can control the narrative of the alerting. If I'm going to route these things around or email these forms around, I can control what that narrative looks like on the email. And then also I can route inside of my system, which is a mobile web-based link route, which I can allow a hyperlink inside of an email, which links you directly into the live form for editing purposes. Or we can drop it into pVault, and pVault's doc route can route around the PDF version of the form. Generally required upon the workflow is whether or not it needs to be edited first before we either import data or edited before we actually do something and write that record as a PDF. Now we can store in documents, and this is where we can control that hierarchy on the folder structure of job name and number / daily reports in this example. You can also control the file name, and it's all based upon answers to those questions. So this is all controllable here on the form wizard. But once we've done this and we've made this, built this form in the form wizard, I can submit the form, and then now it's a form ready for me to actually submit out to the end user out in the field. Now, once the end user gets it, they can actually come in through the website and actually fill it out as a web form. As a desktop user, they can do that. But some of our field guys are generally phone specific, or they're using their tablets out in the field. So that's one of the big advantages of eNTERFACE, is that now once we've built the forms and we've assigned out the forms to the different users, now the users out in the field have an app that they can go into and fill out their forms that you essentially build for them to fill out for their job or for them specifically as a user. Now I'm going to share my mobile device with you here. I'm using an Android device, and if I go into and select my eNTERFACE Forms app, this is your specific enterprise app. So all the forms that you build, you're not sharing this with another company. These are your specific forms, your data, all on the mobile app. So once I come into here, I'm going to go into my jobs. And these are those jobs that I, as a field user, am going to work on. I'm working on 2 jobs here. If I select TriTech Lab job, I can go in and I'm going to fill out my field purchase request. In this example, this is one of the forms that comes standard with the new eNTERFACE July offering. So if I go into my purchase information, I'm going to go request a new PO number. So this is going to go and give me a new sequence, so PO 319. I can enter in my PO date, as today. I'm buying some concrete from Northwest Concrete, so I'm going to select here. Again, this is a validated lookup on my mobile device. I can require it here by tomorrow. I can enter in a buyer, maybe a cost code if I wanted to gather that. Again, it's all company definable. These are your questions and answers. I could take a picture of a quote if I had one, put the materials in. This would be a webinar, July. I can come into here and give me a quantity, and then come to here for a price, and then I'm done here entering that in. I could duplicate if I was adding, maybe buying a couple of other materials, but essentially whenever I come through here and I hit submit, this now submits from the mobile device and actually submits it back into pVault fully indexed. So that's the biggest value that I have. So we're going to kind of show you through a workflow example here, but I can do the same thing with my delivery tickets, right? So if I go into my delivery tickets, once that order hits the desk or hits the job site, I could put this thing down here as well, as this is the July webinar. I can type in the vendor. I ordered this from Northwest Concrete. Here's my vendor list. I could take a picture of that delivery ticket as well. And then for the PO, here, I'm going to type in my 319, which was that PO number. And then I'm going to go ahead and submit it. And then that's now going to submit my delivery ticket. So you can apply this same logic of, your daily reports, your job pictures, your safety infractions and observation forms. All these things are going to archive in our corporate folder structure, but it gives me an outlet out in the field to actually collect all this information. Now, this is kind of the mobile device here. So obviously, I can go into my jobs, but I can also go into my documents, and I have mobile access to my documents that get shared with me as well in the system. I didn't log in here, but I will do so now. So we actually secured that a little bit, but see, this is now my mobile document management inside of my app that I can actually drill into and go into Northwest Foods. And if I want to go see my last couple of daily reports, I can select those here, and there they are on my mobile device for download and searchability purposes. So again, this isn't having to go in and search PVault. This is just holding a record of the transaction on the mobile device for review. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to kill this, and then I'm going to go into my PVault system and see where all that ended up. So if I go into PVault, I actually set up a purchasing and receiving queue to hold these documents so that I can at least demonstrate them here in this example. Now, if I wanted to, and some of our customers do, if it's a form that maybe doesn't necessarily require quality assurance from somebody, just go ahead and archive it and it'll be fine. Then we can actually bypass this step and have it auto-index seamlessly. That's tough to demonstrate, so we kind of stop it here for demo purposes. So if I were to go in here and I refresh my queue, because this was kind of sitting idle, here are the forms that got submitted to me in my queue. So if I click on this first one, I'm sorry, here we go. So this one right here is the PO 319. This was submitted here. There's webinar for July. There's my quantity. It's got everything right here. This is sitting in my purchasing and receiving queue, so you can imagine whoever maybe does all the indexing today would do the same process now. They would just quality assure it. When I hit my indexing screen for PO 319, it's already indexed. It already has the job number, the job name, the vendor on it, the vendor name, the PO number, and the PO date already indexed. I just held it here just for review purposes. So that's PO 319. As I index that thing, it now moves on to the next form, the next form, which is actually the delivery ticket that came in. Now, the delivery ticket I didn't have full information on here, but that's PO 319 as well. That's from the demo. I'm going to go ahead and put my vendor here. Let's see, this was for Northwest Concrete. And then I'm going to put my receiver ticket number if I knew it. And then I could put my my date. So so this is now has my PO number on it. This could have been auto indexed as well. Here, see, it's got PO number 319. So I'm going to go ahead and index this document into the system. So now here's where it actually gets valuable. So if we're archiving the documents, that's great. It can just be there for general searchability inside of PVault. But the big advantage is if we bring it into the accounts payable workflow scenario. So now when I get this invoice that comes in from Northwest Concrete, and I'm ready to enter this invoice, I can come in here and find Northwest Concrete here. Put in the invoice date, invoice number. And now whenever I go hit my field PO, that PO 319 is available as a selection. But I can hit OK. And then now whenever I hit my document screen, it's going to go out and automatically match up my support paperwork. See, it found the field PO. There's that webinar for July. And then it also held out all the delivery tickets for that particular PO number. So when I click on that, I say, yep, that's PO 319 as well. with any special instructions with July webinar. I didn't have a delivery ticket attached, but when I hit attach here, that now made my three-way match. No paper was ever generated. I selected a purchase request or a field PO that could have been approved inside of our system or inside of Paperless for review. It was auto-indexed. The receiver ticket came in from the field, auto-indexed. And when the invoice came in, no paper was needed to be able to be touched, matched up, indexed, anything like that. It was a complete three-way match from this point on. I could now go ahead and actually approve this invoice if it was within a threshold. But this value here is tremendous because it cleans up the logistics of getting the support paperwork in from the field. Now, we take this a step even further with a brand new release that PVault just came out with. Not only can we submit the paperwork from the mobile device into the document management queues, but we can also submit them in through the accounts payable queue as an actual invoice. So we can treat forms as actual invoices. So this opens up the opportunity for expense reports to come in as invoices or credit card receipts to come in as invoices. Another thing too, subcontract pay application forms. We can do those pay app forms inside of Interface, route around for the subcontractors to fill out, and then we can submit the entire paperwork with all the attachments required in as an invoice with all the header information coded out and even multi-line as well in the next release. So that's even an even step further in the automation process. But what we're real excited about and what we're really challenging our customers with for the month of July is to really take advantage of this no more indexing campaign. If you're looking for a solution in regards to how do I start getting my guys to use mobile devices, or what are some good case studies for mobile devices, it doesn't have to be limited to operations specifically where it's just a safety app or a daily report app or even timekeeping app. Interface can be an enterprise solution which can allow you to really take advantage of all those corporate forms that are currently being filled out. They would much rather be able to talk to the device and not have to type anyway or write it by hand. So this gives you essentially 90 days to try out Interface. I encourage you to take advantage of it. Again, there is a one-time setup fee that is required for you to make that investment. It's just a connection between the applications that we do have to set up. It's $1,800 one-time fee to be able to do that. And then once you've done that, you've got Interface for the next 90 days to try out. If you decide that you want to keep Interface, then it's generally a couple $100 a month. You can put that on a credit card or you can pay annually with an incentive. It does come pre-built with some of those 4 forms that I mentioned earlier, the ones that I demonstrated here as well. But you can obviously build any forms that you wanted to during the trial period and have those indexed as well. And then also, if you want any customization, Interface, our team of report designers and form builders can help you with those as well. We discount rates based off how many pre-bill hours that you buy. So we can also cut that discount even deeper depending upon how many hours that you wanted to buy. But we really encourage you. Interface is a great application. We're starting to see companies that were never able to really get PVault rolled out to the operations side of the house. Now they're starting to take advantage of it because now they have a mobile app that they can use that the guys want to use out in the field, and it just auto archives into PVault without anybody having to touch the paper, and it gives ownership what they really want, which is that centralized place for all of our records. But it keeps the field happy where all they have to do is fill out those forms in kind of a mobile environment on their phone or their tablet, and all that stuff gets put into the electronic filing cabinet PVault automatically. So I appreciate your time in looking at the webinar. This is a recording. Feel free to forward this around to anybody that you think might see some value in this and might be interested in tackling Interface during this trial period. This is just a trial period for just the month of July, so we're not offering this after that. So definitely encourage you, if you're interested in trying out Interface, take advantage of this opportunity. It's a really great incentive, saves you some dollars, but also lets you kind of get your feet wet with no more indexing documents in PVault and starting to see the value on that. So thank you again for your time, and look forward to talking to you soon. Thank you.